also starting YouTube. Here we go, YouTube. My hair looks better on Instagram, but that's okay. All right, welcome to everyone on YouTube. I am running an Instagram live right now, and shortly I will be bringing a beautiful soul to do a remote viewing of their subconscious mind to help them release whatever it is that's meant to be released. It seems like YouTube is pausing a little bit, so let me just close some of my windows. I've got too many windows open. Here we go. All right, YouTube. Okay, so Jordan, I'm going to bring you on shortly. Let me just make sure YouTube is going. All right, here we go. Okay, Jordan, go ahead and send a request to be in the live so I can bring you on. So everyone on YouTube, I've been doing these Instagram lives on and off since 2020, since the world was shut down. And so I had my last one on May 18th. So if anyone's curious, you can go back and rewatch that one. And I'm recording this on YouTube because I'd like to have, just in case Instagram doesn't allow me to post the replay. So if you would like to have to be remotely viewed, you can just hop on Instagram at Heal and Manifest, and you can participate on Instagram to have that done for you. All right, so Jordan, go ahead and send the request. I don't know if you see where that option is. Let me see if I can send you an invite, go live. Okay, so I just sent you a request. Oh, here we go. I see. Oh, I see it. It just showed up. Okay. All right, let me bring the camera a little bit closer so the YouTube camera is not so far. So I'm not looking in too many directions. All right, we got all these contraptions. Okay, so here we go. I just confirmed you joining me. All right, you should come on at any second. So anyone else who is observing the remote viewing happening, even if you're not the one being remotely viewed, then you are going to still receive healing, and any inappropriate comments will be blocked. Like I just blocked that person. So if you're going to make an inappropriate comment, automatic block. I don't even know if I can delete this comment. Let's see if I can. I'm just going to report it. Done. Okay, report it. I don't know if my live got interrupted or not. Okay, so that comment should be gone. I don't want that kind of energy. Okay, so Jordan, I accepted, but I don't know. Maybe, let's see. The forces are keeping us from joining, but we will overcome. Yay! We. Yes, I can hear you just fine. Okay, let's see. All right, so do you give me permission to remotely view your subconscious mind?
Yes.
So basically scanning your mind, body, and soul. And sometimes like I'll ask questions, but sometimes it's best to just kind of go right in, especially when you're new and I've never worked with you before. So it's kind of cool to just like jump right in. I do have one quick question. How did you know about the live? From Instagram, or are you on my email list? Instagram. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, because some people end up joining because they got the email, and some people just hear on Instagram. So I'm always curious. Okay, is YouTube slowing down still? No, it's not. I just have so many like windows open. I think it's working. Okay, perfect. All right, so you give me permission. I'm just gonna ask for, so basically I'm connecting via the alpha theta brainwave to your subconscious to see what is the most important thing we need to know right now. Okay, so what is the most important thing that is going to help you unblock whatever it is that needs to be unblocked? So just take a couple of deep breaths, and for everyone observing, just observe without any judgment, and just, do know that if you're on this live, it's for a reason. And the reason why I'm having this live is because you wanted me to do this live, subconsciously sending me radio wave messages like, do a live, do a live. I'm like, okay. And so if you are observing, just hold space for Jordan or whoever is being scanned at the time. And know that if you are here, you're most likely going to resonate with things that come up for whoever it is I'm working on. And so if you are resonating, and then I do downloads for that individual, just, you can be open to receiving. Just don't, have expectations, and don't overthink. Just observe, don't absorb, observe, and then just surrender. So, all right, Jordan. So just close your eyes for a sec and just, take some deep breaths into your heart. And anyone else witnessing, you're more than welcome to take deep breaths as well. So take a nice deep breath into your heart. When you get to the top, hold the breath and release through your nose when you're ready. And always make a habit to breathe in and out of your nose. And when you're ready, take another deep breath. This time you're going to breathe into your belly. And at the top, hold. Taking a little bit more and release. And if you need to take a couple more deep breaths, go ahead and do so. But if you're ready to just return to your normal breathing pattern, go ahead and do so. So I'm just going to tune in and see what comes up, and I'll share that, and then we'll just take it from there. All right. So just continue breathing in and out of your nose normally. So the first thing I hear is that you feel like you're trapped by your own emotions. Like your emotions have been kind of running the show, and you're trying your best to like observe and not like feel too much, but you're kind of just like wrapped up in the drama of your emotions. Does that resonate? Yeah. And you know what? That's normal for humans. It's like we feel emotions, and so the key to getting out of that cycle is to be gentle with yourself and to observe and to not judge the emotions, and just allow yourself to observe and not get attached. So feeling your feelings but not getting attached, and allowing you to, okay, I feel sad, that's fine, I'm allowed to feel sad, I'm a human, I have emotions, there's nothing wrong with feeling sad. But guess what? It's temporary. So I'll do some downloads for you, but let me just see what else comes through. So the main thing is to become the conscious observer of your mind, and to remind yourself that the mind is not running the show. You are running the show, and you are much bigger than your mind. Your mind is like a computer system that is there to help you make decisions, but your mind is mostly because you're used to in the conscious mind, which is the left brain, that which is in front of you, that which you see, that, whatever happened, you believe in. And if it's something new and unknown, then the mind is going to go into an old story and try to recreate the future based on the past. So the best thing is to meditate, because when you're meditating, you're like I had you do some, why did I have you do a couple deep breaths? Because not everyone that comes on, I'm like, let's take some deep breaths. Like, it's always a good idea. And in my private sessions, I also take people through breathing. But I picked up, it's like, okay, you need to become a little more present so that you can observe, not absorb. And so as you meditate, you start to focus on your breath, and you can do guided, but silent is always good. And I can always give you like have a you can request it on my website. Let me put my website here just for anyone who is curious. So there's a free guided, it's about a 45-minute meditation on my website that people can request. And you can also request it in my IG bio, if you look at the link in my IG bio. And so that guided meditation helps you tune in to your inner healing light, and it helps you become more aware and more present. So, okay, so let me see what else is coming up that we need to work on, that we need to clear or know about. Yeah, so I'm noticing a lot of looping thoughts. Like your mind is just continuing to looping thoughts. It's like you're comparing things. You're very aware of it, but you just don't know how to get out of the loop. Does that resonate? Yeah, okay. So I'm picking up there's also some like deep-rooted fear in your solar plexus, probably from some past lives, etc. that are keeping you from making decisions easily. It's like, you know, you need to make a decision, but you're afraid. You're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of, so many things. The unknown. Does that resonate? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, it's like I feel like you have like the fears in your solar plexus, but then there's like I feel like there's like also in your heart where you're not in alignment fully with your soul, and so you are feeling this um kind of like lack of not kind of, but it's a lack of trust. And so it keeps looping between lack of trust, which is creating fear, and then fear because and then there's lack of trust because of fear. And so there's this looping pattern, and then your prefrontal cortex, you're literally having looping thoughts over and over and over. And then you feel the emotions, and then some of the emotions you feel more intensely because of the looping thoughts. And the looping thoughts are because of the emotion. So it's like a, so let me see. So there's a change that you want to make, but once again, you're afraid of being judged. You're like, well, if I do this, will people still accept me? Will they think this of me? Will they think that of me? Um, let's see. And you've had a turning point several times, but you didn't follow through. And so now you're like, am I going to have another turning point, or am I the turning point? Does that resonate?
That definitely resonates.
Literally, like I heard turning point. Okay, so what is keeping you from, besides we already talked about, and I'm going to dig through it, but just being guided to asking you, what is the worst thing that would happen if you made the decision, if you took the chance, if you followed the signs, and if you made that change that you've been craving to make? What's the worst thing that could happen?
Exposure.
Exposure. And what's so scary about exposure?
Because it won't just be exposing me, it'll be exposing
Okay. What?
My mom. It'll be exposing mom.
Okay. Okay, so there's several factors there. So what do you feel is keeping you so attached to being afraid to expose her? Because do you feel like you could just go on your whole life without doing that and just completely detaching? Do you feel like your life will be fine if you never go through the exposure?
No.
So you realize that this decision has to be done regardless of the consequences.
Yes.
So what you need to do is understand that everybody is on their own path of awakening, and everybody is on their own level of consciousness. So just because you understand and you're aware that this may hurt another person, especially someone close to you like your mom, it doesn't mean that it's not meant to happen that way. It doesn't mean that there aren't lessons for her, because we all are here. What did I say in the beginning? I don't know if you were here in the beginning. We all are here to trigger each other. Like, I've triggered my mom several times. She's triggered me. So we're here to trigger each other. And so we trigger each other into what? Into healing based on how we respond to the trigger. So you can either react and go into more trauma, which she may do, depending on the level of consciousness she's in, or she may go, you know what? This was supposed to happen. There's a lesson for me to learn. But the most important thing, and let me tell you something, and I'm not just saying this because, I learned in a book, like I always say that, like I personally went through this, not comparing in any way, but I at some point had to speak my truth with my mother. And I only did so when I was able to fully detach from the outcome. I had to detach from the outcome. I had to detach from her accepting my truth or understanding or being empathetic or, you know, whatever the consequence would have been, I had to detach from it because speaking my truth was part of my own healing and part of my own soul's journey and soul's upgrade. So if you continue to live your life for other people, you are going to continue silently suffering. So we need to figure out what is it that we need to unlock within you to feel safer to speak your truth. Because otherwise, that's why you keep looping. Should I do this? Should I do that? Because what did I pick up on earlier? Can't make a decision, have a fear, trust. How is she going to receive this? What if she doesn't want to talk to me anymore? What if she's da 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 and the whole family and da 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 da. I'm the black sheep of my family. They talk about me all the time. Let them talk. Let them talk their tall tales. You know, I know who I am. You know who you are. We forget sometimes. This is why I do what I do, because I'm here to remind people. Whoever's forgotten, I'm here to remind you who you are. Because at some point, somebody had to remind me, and then I had to finally align into, oh my God, I need to, like, the reason I was just giving that example to this Scottish, well, she's English, but whatever, and met in Scotland. Everybody's Scottish in my mind. We all have some kind of Scottish connection. So I literally, now my mind went somewhere else. There's like so many dimensions we're going through. It'll come back. I always tell when a client wants to share something, I don't know where my thought. It's okay. It's going to come back. If it's meant to be, it'll come back even better. But anyway, so we're all here to trigger each other. We're all here to awaken and to teach. And this is another discussion I had with a client yesterday who said, oh my God, my dad triggers me so much. Like my parents are so unconscious. And I'm like, well, that's normal because a child comes in usually with a much higher frequency, a more upgraded soul to teach the parents. A child, your soul chose your parents. I chose my parents. We all choose our parents. We make contracts before we come in. We decide, okay, you're going to be my dad. You're going to be my mom. You're going to be a narcissist to me so that I know what it feels like to learn how to father and mother myself. Because even though you're my parents, it's not your job to love me. Yes, it's your job to love me. But at the end of the day, you're also a wounded child who was never loved the way you wish to be loved. So how can you possibly know how to love me? Why would I want to burden you with the responsibility of loving me? It's my job to love myself, not in a selfish way, but it's my job to find the love within myself instead of look for it externally. There's nothing wrong with, someone saying, I love you and I love you and I care about you. But at the end of the day, nobody can love you the way you can love yourself. And once you understand that, you no longer seek validation from your partner, from your parents, from blah, blah, blah. And that is when everything changes. Because I don't know anyone else who has gone through as much as I've gone, not comparing, but literally like it was like going back to an abusive partner every time I reconnect with my mother. And I finally just had to accept, like, this is who she is. She doesn't want to heal more. She needs to learn how to she needs to go through this. It's not my job to rescue her, And I finally had to go, I cannot continue to take this verbal abuse, energetic abuse, whatever, and nobody is coming to save me. And it can be painful Because you go, oh my God, I'm alone. Nobody loves me. And then you can go into victim mode and you feel sorry for yourself. What good is going to come out of that? No good. But most people don't know how to get out of that. But because of all the work that I've done and reminding myself what I teach my clients, I go, okay, you know this. Do this. Looked in the mirror. All right. People need your help. Focus on that. Take care of yourself. You're not supposed to have ice cream, but if you want to have it today, go have it. You know, whatever. Just do what you got to do and stop hoping for someone to change. So this is a major lesson for you. You're like, I'm afraid to expose this and that. What did I pick up on earlier before you even told me the story? You're afraid of how it's going to be received, judgment, fear, trust. Okay. So we don't need to get into the details because, you know, we're not like in a private situation. If you do decide to go deeper and want to work privately with me, you can just message me and we can talk about that. So let me see what else is coming in. Do you have any questions, by the way?
No.
All right. And by the way, like, it takes a lot to like come on and be vulnerable. So this is like training ground for you. It's like you're getting ready to speak your truth.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna do this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see what else is meant to come through. Yeah, it just really strongly, your soul's like, I've had enough. I've had enough. It's time to speak my truth. Because otherwise, I'm just going to keep looping. So you don't want to loop anymore. You want to break the what? The pattern. You are a pattern breaker. Like I said, I'm the black sheep of my family. I'm doing stuff they've never done. I'm not normal because I don't have a 9 to 5. I'm weird because I decided to go live in different countries. I'm not dependable because I can't, you know, pick up the phone every single time I'm needed because I'm doing a session, because I'm in a different time zone. So there must be something wrong with me because I'm not a little soldier like everyone else going to work 9 to 5 and telling someone else, having someone else tell me what to do. I'm the black sheep. And I'm triggering them. I'm triggering them into every single thing that they're afraid of. And that's what you're a pattern breaker. So there are ancestral patterns. So when I was starting to explain it earlier, when I do the healing, it's advanced DNA theta healing, and I work on reprogramming your subconscious on four various levels. So 4 levels. 1 is core, your brain. So it's everything that you have been programmed with ever since you were an embryo inside your mother's womb. So anything you heard, someone shared to her, oh, have you considered having an abortion? Oh, you know, whatever. You downloaded that. DNA ancestral, genetic programs, okay, from your dad, from whoever. And then ancestral programming on the history level. So ancestral, so let's say you had a grandmother or grandfather 400 years ago that no matter what they did, they were betrayed or it didn't work out. That trauma, that belief pattern passes on to you. So until you heal it and release it, it's going to continue on. I don't know why I'm getting messages while I'm on the live. I guess there's no way to like turn off Instagram. It's like Instagram messages coming in. And then the 4th one is soul level. So remember how I said your soul doesn't understand time. So it has imprints from all generations of time. And so if something happened in this lifetime, like for example, I healed a man from chronic leg pain he's had over 3 years. It was one session, 90% of the pain gone, no physio, no chiro, nobody could help him. We do one session. I scan his subconscious. I see that he was shot in that leg in one life. In another life, he had a spear put through. Like, I always give that example because it's a physical pain. Nobody could help him. No treatment. One session, 90% of the pain gone. And then just a couple weeks ago, I had a client who messaged me saying after our session, she lay down for a nap. She woke up like 10 hours later or something. And then next day she noticed her chronic knee pain that she's had, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years gone. And then she's like, well, I'm going to see if it comes back in the next week and then I'll let you know. And I'm like, stop looking for the pain. Stop looking for the pain. And she's like, oh my God, you're right. And then guess what? A week later, she messages me, I still don't have pain. I go up the stairs and my knee's not hurting. And then a week later, she's like, oh my God, my eyesight is improving. And just before the session, I saw she messaged me again. She's like, oh my God, after I did the throat chakra session, because part of my healing program, I give access to my 24 plus hours, 8 chakras course, which is like intense reprogramming. And so she just finished the throat chakra and then she did it again. She goes, and now she's able to speak her truth because the energies, like you have these energy centers, each one is like, has its own brain. And there's certain programs, like when I talked about your solar plexus, there's fear, judgment, which is lack of acceptance. There's old resentment, old regret, recent regret. There's guilt, all these programs. And so for each energy center, we have to release certain programs. So she did the throat chakra and she goes, oh my God, I was able to negotiate with so-and-so and I got this amazing thing because I was able to speak my truth and I was able to negotiate. In the past, she would have just rolled over and had them do whatever they would do to her. Now she's able to speak her truth. And so, but guess what? You're not ready to do that until all the fear in the solar plexus is resolved, until your heart is in alignment, because everything's connected. That's why we started the root chakra, and maybe why I'm wearing red today and why I chose the red backdrop for my announcement for today, because I feel like a lot of people need to be grounded more, like to be present and to feel like they belong, especially because we just entered, was Gemini, right? It's air. And I'm Libra air, cardinal air. My mom's a Gemini. Oh my God. Let me drink some water. It drives me crazy because Gemini is like they have to be busy, like flying around doing stuff. And I'm like, relax, like chill. So the root chakra at the base of your spine is red. That's why I'm wearing red. And so when you have trauma as a child, we tend to disconnect from our lower chakras, root, solar, sacral, and we tend to fantasize. And so we go way into the third eye, way into the crown chakra, and we lose our connection and we don't feel safe. And so it's important to always feel grounded, because then when you feel safe, you can pretty much be ready to do what you need to do. Like the woman that I met earlier today, hip pain connected to root chakra. And I was in yoga and I'm like, were you in my yoga class? She's like, yeah. I'm like, because I was picking up on right hip pain, and that right hip pain was happening in April. And I healed it. I don't have right hip pain anymore, but I just picked up right hip pain. She goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I didn't take it on. I feel it because I'm clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant, all the clairs pretty much. I didn't take it on, but I feel it because it's something you need to heal. And then we find out we've had, at least one, probably more past life together. And like, we both got these goosebumps. And I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, do you know about this area where we live? Because we found out we're neighbors. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, isn't the energy heavy? And I'm like, yeah. But because it's so heavy, I had to do so much more healing. Like in the winter, I was sleeping 12 to 16 hours, like just constantly releasing past life trauma. And this is someone, I don't know how long you've been following my page, but I've been a healer since 2019. And I went through my own healing for about 2 months, once a week session, really, because I was in a really dark place. And then once I went through all this healing, it doesn't just stop, because once you heal things, then your subconscious is like, now we're ready for the next phase. Now we're ready for how many upgrades, how many updates does your iPhone get, or whatever phone you have? There's always an upgrade. There's always an update. Like, can you imagine if you were still using whatever you were like we didn't have contactless cards before. Now we do, you know what I mean? It's like we're constantly upgrading. So we are energetic beings, and we are here to learn and to continue upgrading. Because if you're not upgrading, you're doing what? You're staying stagnant. You're not learning. And so the whole point is to learn and to upgrade. And by the way, since I saw some new people popping in and out, just as a reminder, if you would like to be the next person that I do a remote viewing, just like I'm doing for Jordan here, we're releasing subconscious programs. She's currently in a situation where she has a hard time making a decision. She needs to make a change. So I'm going to help her unblock whatever needs to be unblocked so she can do whatever she needs to do. So if any of you currently on would like to have the same, just put heart emojis in the comment and I'll pull you up next. Last time I did this May 18th, I only did one person and I worked on it for an hour, because I don't usually have a private session before these, because it's just a lot of energy, but I did a private session that day. And so I was like really tired. So I only worked on one person. So I manifested to just have one person, but this time I'm definitely able to do more than one. So anybody who would like to be next, just put heart emojis, any color heart emojis in the comment. Okay, so I know we covered like several different things. So the entire point of your human existence is to heal and to upgrade. Why? Because then you can come into full alignment with your true life's mission. Not even most, all humans are not going to feel fulfilled until they step into their life mission. Yes, you can be comfortable. Yes, whatever. But especially if you're a really creative person, and every human is, we just tend to forget, okay, that we're these creative beings. And so if you're not being creative, if you're not living with the divine alignment of your soul's mission, there's always going to be something nudging you. You're always going to feel like, I'm doing something wrong. Something's missing. I don't know what else am I supposed to do. And no matter how much money you make, that's not going to solve it for you. But when you're making money from that, which is your soul's purpose, like this is my soul's purpose. It doesn't feel like work. This is what I'm meant to do. But when I was selling houses, yes, I was making great money, but something felt like it was missing. I'm like, I don't know. I'm supposed to do something else. And people would be like, why aren't you happy? You're making great money. You have a great life. Why aren't you happy? And I'm like, well, it's not about that. I don't feel, my soul feels unfulfilled. And so our entire job is to come into alignment. This is why my entire platform is Heal and Manifest. And my academy is Conscious Agent Academy. Because once you become a conscious agent, your subconscious has become conscious, and you are in alignment, and you understand, and you are representing a type of human who has done the work and are able to help others. And so the whole point is to make the subconscious conscious. So let's see what else is meant to come through for you. Yeah, there's like self-blame. You're like, I need to stop blaming myself. Like you realize, because you're like, oh, maybe that's right. Like you judge yourself a lot. Constant looping judgments. So yeah, so like if you're not on my email list, make sure like when you hop off, like send me a message with your email or go to my link and sign up, because then I can send you this meditation and you can start listening, so you can start like detaching from these looping thoughts. Okay, because it's not just about what we do in this session, but it's what you do after. Like you want to make sure you're maintaining because you want to keep upgrading. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, you're like, I don't want to be an outsider. I don't want to, I don't want to lose connections. I don't want to. Okay, so trust. Remember, we're talking about trust. So let me see what we need to know about trust, because I want to do some downloads for you so that you can trust and you can feel safe to trust. Because if you don't feel safe to trust, then we need to find out why. So let me see. Yeah, so I'm seeing a variety of lifetimes where you were betrayed by a man that you loved. You were betrayed by friends. You were betrayed by people that you were trying to help. Like you kept trying to help people, and they either took it for granted, or they betrayed you, or they threw you under the bus. There's always something that was breaking your trust. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, you're a very old soul. Like I'm seeing a lifetime where you're like, helping people, like you're giving people bread, you're doing good, but you were never like truly appreciated. Why are these people sending me messages? Like, go on my live. Stop sending me messages. Like I'm on a live. Like, and you know that. Whoever it is that's sending me messages right now. Once again, unawareness, right? Okay. Yeah, and I'm picking up your throat chakra too, like hard time speaking your truth, which is what we've been talking about. Um, and a couple flashes I saw where you had your throat slit, you were punished, several horrible ways of dying. I can totally relate to that. Um, yeah, and there's like a disappointment about humans, and they're just, they bring on their own demise, and so there's like disappointment and grief, and that's like taking your energy like from getting started, because you're like, what's the point? You know, does that resonate? Yeah, trust me, I'm. Yeah. How many times I'm like, can I just go back to my planet, please? Take me back. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
You're like, take me with you. I'll let you know when they land. They're like, we're already here. We're helping. Okay. So let me see what we need to release. Yeah, like I'm picking up your throat chakra. You're like, I want to speak my truth, but I'm scared. But I'm Okay. Okay. So do I have your permission to release these old programs where everything that I just mentioned, your past lives, the trauma, the disappointment, the fear, the distrust, all this stuff? Do I have your permission to release that from your subconscious? Okay, thank you. So I'm just doing this quickly. Like if it was a private, I would tell you like all, but I'm just doing this quickly, communicating with your subconscious to release and send these programs, the negative programs, to God's light to be released and resolved on the history ancestral level. For past, present, future lives, inner and outer bodies, inner and outer children, inner and outer energies in the highest and best way. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Releasing the fear of literally, there's like a fear, like I may die if I speak my truth, like literally, like the one that I just saw earlier where you had your throat slashed. That came up again because it was like you said something and you were killed because of it, like you were trying to save somebody and you spoke up and then you were killed for it. So let's release that. Okay. So just communicating with your subconscious that this happened in the throat chakra. This happened. You're like, yeah. Exactly. That this happened in another lifeline. You don't have to keep reliving that trauma. Okay. So it is safe for you to speak your truth. So downloading, it is safe for me to trust. I know what it feels like to trust. I have the creator's definition of trust. I know what it feels like to live my life without fear. I know what safety feels like. It feels good to feel safe. I am safe. I know what it feels like to feel safe. I am always safe. I am divinely guided. I am protected. I am never alone. It is safe to be me. It is safe to speak my truth. It is safe to receive true communications from others. I know what it feels like to live my life choosing love over fear. I know what it feels like to release old guilt, old regret, old resentment, judgment. I know what it feels like to let go of any self-blame, any guilt. I know what it feels like to be in full alignment with my divine soul mission, my highest self, my highest truth. And I know what it feels like to receive the creator's truth. And I know what it feels like to smell truth, to see truth, to feel and to recognize, and to also to receive and to be able to receive true communications. Is that okay? And I know what it feels like to trust. It is safe to trust. I know what it feels like to open my heart, to receive love, to receive help. I know what it feels like to have my masculine and feminine energies be in balance. I know what it feels like to, and it helps to close your eyes, by the way, because when you close your eyes, you're like not, you're receiving it deeper on the alpha level, and then alpha to theta, because most of my clients, when their eyes are open, they're still in theta, but you know, just because you're new, to having this done, I just want to make sure you're receiving it in the highest and best way possible, and just continue to breathe in and out of your nose normally. Let me see what else. Yeah, your throat chakra. Oh my God, you can see I keep drinking water. Okay, so there's some old beliefs coming up about what you need in order to feel safe and protected. Which have been reinforced like during your childhood, and things that your mom has said to you and others. And downloading, I know what it feels like to discern my thoughts and feelings from the thoughts and feelings of others. Is that okay? And do I have your permission to download all those programs and to replace the negative ones with unconditional love and safety, gratitude, compassion, understanding, trust, acceptance, forgiveness? Is that okay? Thank you. And I know what it feels like. So downloading, I know what it feels like to detach from the outcome. I know what it feels like to stay present. I know what it feels like to surrender to divine timing. I know what it feels like to trust that everything is happening for me and I am safe. I am divinely guided. Okay. So take a nice deep breath into your heart. When you get to the top, hold, take in a little bit more, and then just release. How are you feeling? Lighter? It's crazy how quickly it works, right?
Yeah, lighter, brighter. I don't know, like yeah.
You look brighter too. I don't know how these. Get rid of these usually these comments don't block the screen, but now I just see it. I don't know if it's visible on the other end or if it's maybe on the other end it's not. Maybe it's for me to see. Yeah, I mean, like your energy, like I don't just feel it, I see, like you look brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me quickly balance your brain chemicals as well, and anyone else who's on, I'm balancing your brain chemicals as well. Noradrenaline, serotonin hormone levels in the highest and best way for you right now. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Downloading healing for your brain and downloading. I know what it feels like to be the loving operator of my mind. Yeah. So definitely I'm picking up, you feel a lot like you feel safer.
Yeah.
Any questions? Well, thank you for, participating and for being vulnerable enough to share. Don't forget, send me your email so I can send you that guided meditation so you can keep this going. And if you have any questions, DM me. Like, just ask me any questions you have. So I'm going to quickly explain. I I know I keep saying this, but I'm getting very, very close to closing out all my one-on-ones, and moving forward, it's going to be group only. So if anyone watching right now would like for a chance to work one-on-one with me to completely transform your life and come into a full alignment with your soul's mission, then go ahead and go to the link in my bio and just submit the application to my Heal and Manifest program. So, and if you go to my website that I pinned here, it's also there. There's a link to the application as well. But on Instagram, it's easy to just go. So if anyone feels the nudge, don't overthink it. Do it. Because soon one-on-one will be completely gone. I mean, my group sessions are still powerful, but some people just really need that one-on-one. So that's why I keep extending. I keep extending and taking on more. The difference between past life regression hypnosis and theta healing. So what I did here with Jordan, I remotely view, I check into past lives, and then I release them. So the difference with that versus past life regression session would be where I'm actually guiding you. It takes longer, and I guide you, and you see the stuff. Like, you see your past lives and in more detail. And then you describe it to me, and then we record it on audio, and you literally tell me, okay, I'm standing in this room, and so-and-so is here, and this is what I'm wearing, and this is how I'm feeling. And then I take you back and forth in time. So not everybody needs to do that. Some people want to do that because they're like, oh my God, I'm like ready. Like, I want to see. I didn't even ask you, do you remember your dreams, Jordan? No? Okay. So if someone tells me they don't remember their dreams, that means their alpha waves are very much inactive. So it's not that you're not having your dreams. You're having dreams. You're just not remembering, because the alpha is the bridge between the conscious and subconscious. Remember how I said we need to make the subconscious conscious? So once you start meditating, and even after just this session, you may have a dream later today, or maybe in a week. I don't know. Most people who have like a full session with me, they start having dreams again. Well, they're always having dreams. They start remembering them, because it's really important to remember your dreams, because now it's like the subconscious is becoming conscious. And that's how we know, okay, your alpha waves are active. Because most people who are overthinking left brain, or like if they're exhausted when they go to bed and they're just thinking, they don't remember their dreams. So, but it's important. It's part of the healing is to get your dreams to start to be remembered again. So that's why I recommend to do the meditation. And if you feel called to it, you can also apply to my Heal and Manifest program, and we take it from there. So anyone else, if you apply, I get your application, I review it, and then I'll, if I feel like it's a good fit, then I'll message you to set up an interview, and then we have an interview, and that's when we decide, like, is it a good fit? Like, what's going to happen? That's basic. It's super simple. So I'm very intuitive. So like, I can usually tell if it's going to be a good fit or not. All right, my dear, thank you so much. Thank you for your trust. Lots of love to you.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers. All right. Anyone else, while Jordan is exiting, anyone else who wants to go through this experience Jordan just had, go ahead and put heart emojis in the comment while I sip some water. So if you'd like to have a remote viewing of your subconscious mind, just put heart emojis and I'll bring you on screen with me. So before that next one takes place, I just want to kind of go over something important that most people tend to forget. And that's that we know everything there is to know already. Everything you need to know is already within you. It's in your subconscious. So when I talk about making the subconscious conscious, how do you do that? By meditating, by relaxing. So you want to relax into a solution. I don't know if you've heard, Einstein used to go for these walks, and many of the ideas that came to him happened while he was on these walks. So he wasn't sitting there thinking, of a solution. He would detach from the need to find a solution. And in that relaxed state, the solution would come. An incredible idea would come. And so I gave this example to a client on Zoom the other day. When I was in Spain, I was staying in this villa that was built last year. And by the way, new people coming in, if you would like to have me remotely view your subconscious to help you release some blocks that you may not be aware of and to help you heal very quickly, go ahead and put heart emojis in the comment box. So if you, I'm going to put this in, if you'd like to have, in case, a remote viewing and healing of your subconscious mind, put a heart emoji. You're welcome, my dear. So, oh, I forgot to mention, Jordan, this is important. I always forget to say this on my lives. Drink water, hydrate, and please abstain from any stimulants. So smoking, drinking for at least 2-3 nights, because these downloads can get canceled out or less effective if you put all these externals. I see somebody put a heart emoji. Loving nature 222. Do you know 222 is one of my Pythagorean chart numbers? And I literally kept seeing 222 in the last week. So okay, I'll pull you up next. Let me comment with a heart emoji. So please drink water and abstain from alcohol and stimulants, etc. Coffee's okay, but just don't overdo it. With a heart emoji. Okay, my dear. Loving nature. I recognize your name. I feel like you've been following me for a while because I've seen your name come up. Okay, so go ahead and request to be in the video. So just send me a request. Of course, the day that I straightened my hair, it had to rain. So, like fuzzy. Okay, so go ahead and send a request to be in the video, and then I'll bring you on. I feel like someone has a headache. I just picked up on someone's headache. Who has a headache? Okay. All right, so I just sent you a request to join the live. Here you go. Hello, my dear.
Say hello. Hi.
I love the red hair. Are you Scottish too? Everybody's Scottish.
Thank you.
Is that your daughter?
Yes.
She's like, are we live?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
And I gave her the phone right
Oh,
away.
so you're the loving nature?
Yeah, my mom's loving nature. My mom.
Yeah. Oh, 222. Oh, you were just helping her hop on.
Yeah.
Very kind of you. Okay, my dear. So, yeah, because I've seen your handle a few times. So you've been following me for years.
Yes, I have.
Seen me through all my crazy adventures.
It's great, yeah.
Where is she now? She's in Spain dancing at a discoteca.
Yes. I know. It's nice, yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm just a little shy. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm ready to help you tap in. So, okay. Hey, the fact that you're on like that's huge, because some people are like, I don't, once again, it's divinely meant to be. And did you know from Instagram, or are you on my email list too? Both? Okay, cool.
Both, yeah.
Awesome. And what part of the world are you in? Are you East Coast, West Coast?
New York.
East Coast. New York. Perfect. Okay. So do you give me permission to remotely view your mind, body, soul to see what we need to know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Sure.
Okay. So just take a couple deep breaths, the breath into your heart, through your nose, in and out of your nose, maybe your belly. Just breathe at your own pace and let me see what comes up. What was your name, by the way?
Silkia.
What is it?
Silkia.
How do you spell it?
Silquia.
That is very unique.
Yeah.
I've got unique followers.
Yeah.
So Silkia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Silky.
Silkia.
Yes.
I'm pronouncing it in a more foreign way.
Yes.
Like adding like a flavor to it.
Yes.
Not that you need any more flavors. Okay, let me see.
Okay.
She's like, I'm already spicy. Okay, let me see what we need to know.
Okay.
So it seems like it was your like crown chakra I was picking up on. Because I was saying like somebody has a headache. I'm sure there's some other people, but like I feel like there's definitely a blockage in your crown chakra, and there's like a lot of overthinking happening. Does that resonate?
My brain is like, my problem is that I can't remember anything, even from a year ago. Like I live in the present moment. I can remember anything. Like it's rare. Like sometimes here and there I remember, but I don't know why. I have no idea why.
How long has this been going on? Like your whole life, or?
I can't remember. But yeah, years and years and years. Yes.
Okay, what's the last thing you remember? Like childhood, anything?
No childhood.
Wow. I don't know if you were on earlier. I don't think you were. Earlier, I literally gave an example. If you can't remember your childhood, it was probably something traumatic happened. And you literally block it out.
Yes, that's what I've been thinking too, yeah.
And then you come on. So, okay. So let's see. Yeah, it's like you're blocking yourself from seeing because something really bad happened. And you're like, I don't want to see it.
Really?
But I feel like it's beyond this lifetime. Like there's like things. So do you remember your dreams or no?
Dreams? I try every morning to remember my dreams, but I can't.
Do you remember things from a month ago?
Not really, no.
Okay.
It's really tough.
So what's your most recent memory?
Sometimes I time myself and I'm telling my daughter, okay, I'm gonna try to remember something from this morning. Like around 6 o'clock every afternoon, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back on my morning. So I did this, I wake up and I get stuck there. But I can remember the rest of the day, but not the morning.
Wow. Yeah. So has anyone have you gone to any specialists who told you like why this is happening?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
So do you put like sticky notes everywhere to like remind yourself of things?
No, I live normal. I live in the present moment. I live normal, but to try to go back to the top, especially like in the morning, I'm like, okay, I wake up and I'm like, and I get stuck. But today I remember everything I did, and I'm like, okay, after I wake up, I can remember what I did when I woke up, but after that, I remember everything else. It's just the morning.
You're reminding me of that movie. Have you seen Drew Barrymore with Adam Sandler? You probably don't remember. I don't know why I'm asking.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes.
I'm gonna start using that with men I don't want to talk to anymore. I don't remember. You asked me out. You took me to a nice restaurant. I don't remember. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just. So there's a movie with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler where she literally wakes up every morning forgetting everything that happened the day before. So he started filming everything, and he started putting it literally her morning every morning with watching. Okay, we're married. Like we love each other. Like. We have a child this is your child, I'm your husband, like literally, so that she goes, oh, okay. And then for the rest of the day, she remembered. But then she goes to sleep and she wakes up and and then she has to watch the tape again. So that's how they're able to get through. So I'm like, oh my God, you're like my first live person. Okay, so I'm going to tune in to see. So this is a challenge, but I'm ready for a challenge. So as I'm talking to you, I'm picking up on sacral chakra blockage. So definitely feel like not just your childhood, but something happened that was really traumatic, that literally like you disconnected and you're like, I don't want to remember. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I believe that. I have no idea what, but I believe it.
Yeah, you feel it. Literally, I'm just picking up like blockage, also your solar plexus, but really like your sacral. So let me see. Yeah, okay. Lots of stuff is coming up, like a lot. Like I'm seeing past life, I'm seeing childhood, um, I'm seeing like abuse, I'm seeing like you lost a child in probably past life. Um, did you have, I don't know if you remember this, did you have or do you have painful periods?
No.
No?
Never. No.
Okay. So it must be I'm picking up on because there's just, I just see a lot of, it's like there was a miscarriage, there was, I'm picking up a lot of like trauma in the sacral chakra, which is your lower abdominal reproductive, all of that, which is why most people block. I mean, obviously, trauma, any kind of abuse can lead to blockage, not wanting to remember because it's too painful. So you rather not remember.
I believe it,
yeah. So let me see. Yeah, I'm just hearing your soul say it was too much. It was too much. I couldn't handle it. The only way for me to keep going is to not remember because it was just too much. It was too painful. So let me see.
Wow.
Yeah, you're very, what's happening? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just surprised. I don't know. My heart is beating. I have no idea what's happening, but yeah.
So I feel like what's happening is because we're talking about it, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember, but it's coming up and like, oh my God, like, are we talking about this?
I guess, yeah.
That's why your heart is beating fast.
Yeah.
Someone just joined with an 821. 83 follows me like all the time.
Really? Okay.
It's crazy. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, so one of the flashes of a past life I saw, you were like trying to save a bunch of children. And there was like a bombing, there was a war, and I just see you like holding all these like little children, like trying to get them out. You're a very old soul. You've had many past lives where you have died young, middle age. Yeah, and I'm seeing like past lives with like sexual abuse, like all kinds of
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I know it's a lot. So I'm gonna download for you. I know what it feels like to receive this information without fear, without pain, and basically just receive it as if you're watching a movie. Okay, it's like images coming in, just and downloading. I know what it feels like to be safe. So just close your eyes and do I have your permission to download? I know what it feels like to feel safe. I know what safety feels like. I know what it feels like to be in alignment with source. I know what it feels like to receive God's healing. I know what it feels like to allow myself to heal. I know what it feels like to feel safe knowing and seeing without fear of feeling too much. I know what it feels like to understand what happened and to revisit the pain and the trauma without getting attached. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. And just balancing your brain chemicals, noradrenaline, serotonin hormone levels in the highest and best way for you right now. Downloading unconditional love and safety and downloading, I know what it feels like to receive a healing without resistance. Is that okay? Yeah, because I'm picking up some stuff in your solar plexus too. And like there's like some old anger too, like I'm feeling your liver. It's like some old anger and some resentment. And like holding on to old pain, old hurts, old anger. And like it's almost like you're like eating your feeling, like you're not wanting to feel, and because you're not wanting to feel or see or remember, it's like you're holding on and you're like storing all this like stuff.
Yes, agree. I agree.
Yeah, so let me see.
I agree.
Yeah, and there's also like throat chakra blockage too, where you are like, if I say something, I will be hurt. They will hurt me. I'm not allowed to say it. I'm scared to speak my truth. I'm scared of dying. I'm scared of, yeah. So let me see.
Problems in my throat. Problems in my throat. It's really tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, there's like a blockage. But it's connected. It's connected to the fear in your solar plexus. That's why my entire 8 chakras course, it's not just healing one energy center, it's healing all main 8 energy centers, because by releasing the fear and the judgment and guilt and this and that, then you're able to have more confidence, have more courage, and then balancing your throat chakra, because now we also healed your heart chakra, then you're able to receive.
Right.
And you're able to trust, because the heart has to do with trust, surrender, feeling safe, being able to take in the breath of life. So let me see. So just downloading healing for your energy centers, and I'm going to check to see what we need to do. What is the most important thing we need to do right now? Yeah, so what I'm hearing hearing your higher self say is that you have a tendency to blame yourself for even things that others did. Like you're like, no, it's okay. Like you rather not like have a conflict. You're rather, okay, it's okay. It's my fault. Like I'll just, I'll deal with it. Like you rather not get into a conflict, and you're like, it's okay. Like you just constantly go to self blame.
Yeah, I do anything not to have problems or anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do anything not to have any conflict or any problems or anything.
Okay. So what we need to download is, I know what it feels like to be able to face a challenging situation without fear. I know what it feels like to have a healthy discussion without fear, without judgment. I know what it feels like to disagree with someone without feeling bad. I know what it feels like to honor my own thoughts, feelings, and emotions without fear of hurting someone else.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so I'm downloading that for you.
Okay, that sounds great.
You're very sweet. You have such a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
There's just
Thank you.
It's about integrating more into this 3D world where you feel safer. Like I literally feel like your throat chart, like there's like so much like you're afraid of saying and speaking and expressing. So and that's also tied to sacral chakra. So I'm gonna download I know what it feels like to feel safe expressing. That was really weird. I just literally saw like on my screen, where my screen is, like on like no over here. Like over here. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but I just opened my eyes. Did you see this?
Something, but I wasn't sure.
I literally saw like a bubble like pop up and go away, like right in this area. Did anyone else? That was really weird. Like I wonder if it's gonna be on the replay.
Right? Oh my God.
I literally opened my eyes and I saw like something. Did you see it?
It was something too. Yes.
It wasn't my hand though, because my hands were not up here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's going on? I am in Scotland right now, so.
Oh wow.
And I just found out. Well, not found out. I already knew. I got confirmation. I just didn't want to explore too much, because I'm like, I've already done so much past life releasing. Like, I'm good for now. Like, I know that. Because there's sometimes, like, I've gotten to a point where it's like I've upgraded so much where I don't always need to see all the details. I just know, like, oh, this is what I need to release. But the soulmate that I was talking about earlier that I met, when I say soulmate, it doesn't have to be romantic. So your mom's your soulmate, your dad, your brother's your soulmate. So this lady that I met, who's my neighbor, she's like, what do you think about the energy of this land, like of where this development is? And I'm like, oh yeah, lots of stuff happened here. And so she's like, yeah, before it was whatever we know it was, I'm pretty sure this is where they used to burn a lot of witches.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yeah, this is where you and I died. And then goosebumps like crazy. And she was like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God.
Interesting. Wow.
So who knows? Maybe you were here too, and that thing just popped up. That was weird. I have to rewatch this now. I hope it lets me, because I don't think it's gonna show up on YouTube. But anyway, so who knows? You got is this real red hair, or do you dye your hair?
No, I dyed. Yeah, I dyed.
What's your natural color?
Like brown, dark brown.
Okay. But clearly you're channeling a past life where you had red hair, because I've had red hair. In the sun, I actually have red, like you can see red. When I was a baby, I had red hair.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I would love to have it naturally, but since in my 20s, I've been dyeing since I was like 20.
I don't know if I could ever do that. It's a lot of work. Because don't they have to bleach it before they like make it red?
No, I didn't bleach it. When I was 20, it just kept going and going. No, I didn't.
Really? Even though it's brown, like it will go to red that quickly?
I can't remember how I did it, but there was no bleach or anything. None.
Oh, okay. Maybe one of these days I'll try it. We'll see.
You look nice, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be weird. Just people will be like,
it's always like that, but you look really nice.
We'll see. Maybe I'll do like a darker red. Okay. Back to the subject. Okay, so let me see. We got distracted by that weird thing on the screen.
Yeah.
like a little fairy visiting us. Okay. Did anyone else who's still here, did anyone else notice this? Put in the comment if you noticed it. I don't know if anybody else saw that. It was literally like right here, and something appeared like a bloop. It was weird. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see what we need to do. So what I was getting ready to say is, when you have a hard time expressing yourself, that's also sacral chakra. So downloading, I know what it feels like to feel safe, to express your feelings, emotions, and desires openly, freely, and creatively. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like when you were coming into this life, you were like, I don't know if I want to be a woman, because so many lives I was a woman. It was so painful, and I went through so much trauma. Jordan is still on. She said she didn't say anything, but I don't know if it's just me seeing it. But did you see it too?
I saw something, but my eyes were like closed. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so if you and I saw it, then it'll be interesting to see if it's on the replay, because Jordan didn't see it. So maybe it was just for you and I don't know. If it's on the replay, then we'll know. Maybe it was just like a special thing. But it wasn't just me. Like, you saw it too. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so you were like, oh my God, like so much trauma as a woman. Like, it's difficult to be a woman. So there's a lot of, because of the trauma and the sexual abuse and all that stuff, past lives, etc. You're like, I don't know if it's safe to be a woman in this life, because it's just very difficult to be a woman in this life. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to do this again. So let me see what else.
Okay. That's interesting.
Anything you want to share about that? Like,
no, really, I'm just surprised.
Look, somebody just commented, it was a bubble with a, so it was an emoji? Was it an emoji? Okay, because it looked like something else. So it was an emoji with a thumbs up inside. Because when I saw it, it looked like something else. So maybe we're just like seeing something else. But okay. So at least we know we're not crazy. Because usually when I see like emojis, like I see them like, and they look like emojis. This one just looked really weird. Anyway, maybe we were meant to get distracted and talk about this so that we are tapping into a different timeline now. But thank you for clarifying. Multi-passionate hustler. So the first thing I'm going to say about that name is like, pick a niche. Like, pick like something that you really, because when you have multiple things you're good at, because I'm good at several different things. But so my advice, to this wonderful soul who decided to help us out of this craziness. Yeah. And the other thing about, like, I know you didn't ask for this advice. See, there you go, another bubble. I know you didn't ask for this advice, but hustler means like you gotta hustle, like you gotta like work hard. You gotta like, but the whole thing I'm teaching is how to relax into abundance, how to relax into love. So it's all about relaxing instead of hustling, instead of, I get it. It's like, oh yeah, like you gotta work hard. But it's all about, because when you relax and you do, 80% of the work is done internally. This is why I'm like meditating, tapping into your alpha waves. Because do you meditate?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So sometimes I try, but it's really, really tough. I try.
Ambulance, they're coming.
Yeah, I have like some small back problems, so it's hard for me to like sit for long, periods of time. So it's like I could only like 15 minutes. I could do it for 15 minutes, but I try. If there's something I want to do, it's that.
Guess what? Who said you have to be sitting when you're meditating?
Because I have tried laying down also, but
you fall asleep.
I have to be moving. I have to be moving because of my back.
So when you go to sleep, is it hard? You have to keep moving around when you're sleeping?
If I lay down straight, I usually sit sideways.
Okay.
But when if I have tried it, when I try to meditate laying down, but it's like I can only be there for a certain amount of time because I have to turn my body.
But here's the thing. Just put it on and then just do what you usually do when you go to sleep. And if you fall asleep, great. Like, don't get attached to, I have to stay in this position. I have to be like, I have to. Just put it on, have it play, and then just do whatever you got to do to fall asleep. And you know what I'm saying? Like, just like, we get so attached to certain ways of doing things. Like, what?
I agree.
And so why you have back pain, because back has to do with root chakra. Another reason why I'm wearing red. Root chakra is what? Not feeling safe, not feeling supported by life. So back pain has to do with that.
Yes, I agree.
Not feeling supported by life, not feeling grounded, not feeling present, not feeling safe. And what do we just spend time talking about? All those things. So you see how it's all connecting? And literally the ambulance is like, this is important. This is important. But it's like, it just started happening now because the ambulance is like, pay attention. So, in New York, the energy there, I've been there, it's very like, I think it's built on a lot of crystals, like different type of crystals. So the energy can be very like, yeah. So you have to make a conscious effort, like go to Central Park. I don't know how far you are, or go to some kind of a park. Go to, if you can go into like more rural area, like away from the city, away from all the like energy and stuff, where you can just feel more grounded.
I agree.
And like be next to a tree, and even if I think Central Park, there's some parts that literally you feel like you're in a, you're not in a city. So just find time, create time, choose to have the time where you are doing things for yourself without being forced to. Because it's like, you start to take care of yourself better when you get sick. And you're like, oh, I better take care of myself better. Well, if you take care of yourself better at any time, you are going to not get sick. You get sick because you haven't been paying attention to yourself. So that's how most humans are. We don't wake up until it's like, oh my God, like something happened. So let me look into your back pain.
Oh my God.
What's going on?
I could cry.
What's happening?
No, I've been having it like for a couple of years.
The pain? What happened a couple of years ago?
It's like in the left, like the blade, I think. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere.
Nothing comes out of nowhere. Everything is from a belief program. So what was going on around that time in your life?
I don't know. I can't remember.
You can't. I don't know why I'm asking you, because I know you can't remember. But I was just trying. I was like, maybe she doesn't remember.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so does your daughter remember?
I think she does. Yes. Yeah, she does. I'm sure she does. You want to ask her?
Yeah, if she's around.
Yeah. Come.
Okay, I'm gonna keep scanning to see what's going on.
Do you remember what happened to and what was happening around the time?
2 years ago when her back started to hurt, what was going on around that time 2 years ago?
My grandparents passed away 12 hours apart from each other around that time. She was having some issues with my father as well. He wasn't being so supportive.
I literally was about to say you have a deep distrust in men. Like I was literally no, she. I mean, maybe you tried.
Yeah.
Hopefully, she didn't pass it on to you. But if she did, if we heal it for her, it'll heal for you too. So literally, men were coming in strongly before you just said what you said, and I was about to say, and it's not just from this life; it's from past life. So you see, you lost. So your grandparents or her grandparents?
Oh, her mom and dad.
So okay, so you lost your parents. What is that? I don't feel supported in life. Back pain.
I guess, yes. I guess, yeah.
Not you guess. It's what it is. Trust me.
Yeah.
You guess because you don't remember and you don't know. We don't realize that like everything our body experiences, it's a trigger from a belief program.
I agree. Yeah. Sure.
So if you feel helpless, your left side is going to hurt, which is your side, left side. Helpless, wounded feminine energy. Overdoing masculine right side, you're going to injure your right side, your right foot, or whatever. And some people go, no, I'm not overdoing. Yes, you are. And so, go ahead.
No, it's true. Definitely. 100%, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what else we need to. What was that? Very true. Okay. And by the way, multi-passionate hustler, I see a heart emoji. Does that mean you want to go next? Just confirm. Confirm so that I know who else, just time-wise. Okay, so let me see what we need to do. Yeah, so remember I said there was like sexual trauma, abuse, this, and this. So there's a deep distrust. I mean, I sense there was this lifetime too that you blocked out, but most of the time, and it's crazy that literally you come on when earlier I felt the need to talk about people who had childhood trauma, lots of trauma, they tend to forget, they block their memory. And then you come on and you're like, I don't remember what happened yesterday. So literally, I mean, I can't make this up. And Jordan, I don't know if you're still with us, but do you remember me talking about this? Just comment if you do. So let me just see what we need to do. Okay. Yeah, so there's like lack of safety. I'm picking up, I don't feel safe. I don't trust men. Life is hard. I didn't want to come in. I didn't want to be a woman. Being a woman is hard. It's hard to try, like just all this negative. I have a hard time expressing myself. I don't know what all this stuff. So let me see what is the most important thing we need to know right now. What is the core? What is the Okay. So I don't know if you're ready to hear this. So you didn't want to come in, like you don't want to have another human life. You're like, humans are blah, 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 just like Jordan earlier. Like, I don't want to do this again. It's too much drama, too much trauma. Like, why am I, what is this? Like, I'm not doing this. Literally, I see your soul. And then you're like, okay, all right, fine. I'll do it. It's my soul contract to do it. But you know what? I want to do it like as quickly as possible. So I want to have as much trauma in this life as possible, because the more trauma, the more problems you have, the more karma you can resolve. But only if you actually do the work. Like when you see a homeless person, that homeless person wanted to be a homeless person, because when you're homeless, when you're disabled, the more problems you have, the more challenges you have, the more karma you can clear. But only if you actually clear it and not stay in it. Because the moment you're born, you forget, and you're like, what? Who? You have amnesia. You're like, what am I doing here? What? Like, who are these weird looking people like telling me what to do? So yeah, so like literally I see, and no wonder you dye your hair red, because then like I've seen a lifetime as, you know, like an angelic being, where I was very pale, had like long red hair. My mom had red hair. All my sisters had red hair. It was like a dimension in 5D or whatever. And so I actually do meet a lot of like gingers, and I had a Scottish twin flame who's a ginger, who I've seen in 5D. We made a contract to like meet, but he was going to be born later. Anyways, story time, another time.
Wow.
Yeah, so I see you. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what we need to do. Yeah, so it's like you signed up to have all these things so that you can clear it quicker, so you can upgrade faster.
What was I thinking?
I don't know. You forgot. That's why you were forgetting. You're like it's too much.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Let me see what we need to do. You're a project, my dear, but I'm ready. Let's see. Challenge. I don't mean project like it's a challenge. I mean, once again, but like, let's see. Obviously, you already know I'm going to say this. Like, I'm going to do what I can here, but you're obviously going to need more work. So while I'm still doing one-on-one, you know, either apply to my program or whatever. Let's see what we can do for you. Okay. Because if we, let's say, work on one thing and then this opens up and this opens up and you don't work on it soon enough, it's like, then you're not progressing. Because remember, you came in here to heal things and you took on all this stuff. So, and that's why you chose to be a woman, because to be a woman is more challenging. Nothing against all the men out there. More power to you, but it is a known fact that women get sick, have more diseases, get sick, because we're always doing what? We're taking care of everybody else. How many women do I know who, like, whatever diseases they have is because they disregard themselves. They don't take care of themselves. Like, for example, breast cancer. Breast cancer, anything to do with breast, is because you're taking care of other people over yourself. Like, you're worrying about other people over yourself.
Yes, that's true. Very true, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, so let's see. Let's see what we need to do. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is make sure your soul understands what your soul contract is, and that you chose to be here. Okay. And even though your parents are gone, what you weren't on earlier when I was telling Jordan, because she has a challenge with her mother, and I had a challenge with my mother, and so we have our duty. Like, you chose your parents. We all choose our parents. So you chose your parents knowing that they're not always going to be there, because just like my lesson and most of our lessons, everyone's lesson is to understand, yes, there are parents and their job is to love us, but they themselves have all kinds of stuff going on that they haven't really mastered yet. And so usually you as a child are more ascended, more upgraded, and you come in to teach them. And you made a contract, you chose them as your parents. And so just because they died, you're allowed to grieve their death, you're allowed to miss them, but you need to then learn how to mother and father yourself, whether your parents are still alive or not, whether they're perfect parents or not. You still need to know how to father and mother yourself, because nobody, even if so, like, I literally had an ex who I dated before my recent breakup as in my last breakup as in 2019, and I decided to be single until recently decided to start dating again, because I feel like I'm ready. My heart is open. But the ex before the previous ex, when he found out I broke up with this guy, he was like, all right, that's it. Like, we're meant to be together. I'm going to leave my girlfriend. I'm going to be with you. And I'm like, chill out. like, I need time to be on my own.
Yes.
And he was trying to help me so much because he loves me so much. And he was kind of trying to constantly help me. And I literally was like, thank you, but no, I need to help myself. Because until I learn and master to help myself and love myself, no matter how much you love me, no matter how much you're helping me, it's not really helping me. It's helping me to, like, in the moment, but it's not permanent reprogramming. I need to find that love within myself.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, that's true. Very true. It's very important. Very important.
That's because your worthiness. Almost every disease, if we trace it back, goes back to worthiness. Every virus goes back to worthiness. You don't feel worthy, you feel disconnected from source, you'll get COVID, you'll get the flu, you'll get blah, 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 blah. And because you don't feel worthy, then nothing works for you. Then you may get this other disease and this other disease and then go, oh, I got it from, okay, but why did it get attracted to you? Because you matched its vibration.
Exactly.
Because every virus has a certain vibration. And the moment you lower your vibration to match that virus will go, party time. We're going to go to your party because now we're on the same vibration.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Somebody could walk into the same party and they don't get it because they're on a higher vibration. In fact, they don't even want to go to the party because they're like, that's a low vibe party. I'm not going to that party.
Yes, so true, yeah.
I'm going to have my own party. Sometimes it means I'm reading a book and that's a party. I'm going to sleep. So I have a party in the astral.
Yes.
So I have to deal with these crazy humans.
Yes. That's what I'm always saying. That's what I'm always saying too. I'm like, oh, how's humans, you know?
Oh, see?
Yeah.
So I didn't just channel this. I didn't just make it up. Like, it's not just what I say. But it's funny because I said that to this guy I went on a date with recently. I was like, you're an interesting human or something. I said, not bad for a human. Like, he said something. I'm like, you're pretty smart for a human. And he goes, the fact that you literally said that, like, says everything. He's like, who are you?
I know.
I was like, not too shabby for a human.
I understand they're rare, but yeah.
So, my dear, you decided to come to this earth to help these crazy humans, just like I did, just like Jordan did, and all these other people. And guess what?
Wow.
You can't back out, girl.
I know. Oh, it's been tough, but yeah. It's been tough, but yeah.
Okay, it's been tough. See, I can't even say the word. It's been tough, and that's okay because you told yourself that it's tough. You came in going, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So now guess what? It's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Because you choose it to be easy.
I agree.
It's going to be easy. It's easy. It's easy to heal. It's easy. Do you see? So anytime you go to the negative, go right away to the positive, go the opposite. Yes. I'm not saying bypass your feelings.
Yes.
But just go, what if it wasn't tough?
Yes. Yes. And I do affirmations like that. I have an affirmation that says life is so simple. Life is so easy. Every day. Every day I say the same thing.
But if your subconscious doesn't believe it, then you're not going to believe it. So then what you want to do is actually, when you're meditating, you feel it, you see it, and you tell us, I know what it feels like. Because you notice the downloads I do, I know what it feels like. Right. Because the mind, the left brain conscious mind wants to know.
Yes.
But it's the feeling that we need to tap into. I know what it feels like. So you're covering the knowing and the feeling. Because just knowing is not enough. How many books can you read? How many podcasts can you watch? I know it all.
Yes.
I need to know. I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know how many calories are in this steak. I need to know how many miles I walked. I need to know. And then you put on the Apple Watch and then you're like, I need to know everything.
I know.
That's why your brain is overwhelmed. Because you're trying to know. And you're like, I know.
Yeah.
That's why you don't remember. Because you're like, I only need to know that I know. And all that other stuff, I don't want to know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I know.
And I said it again. Stop.
I know you know. Okay, so let me see what we need to do.
Okay.
Okay, so the message is to clear the belief that it has to be hard. So getting rid of that baseline that life is hard, life is difficult, humans are blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, we can agree, but let's just let it go. Because the most important virtue you can master, and I say this to the students of my Conscious Agent Academy, like, is patience. If you want to be a healer, you cannot be a healer without being patient. You cannot be a good human without being patient. You cannot heal without being patient. So you need to learn to be patient.
Yes.
Is there a reason why I'm telling you this?
Yes, yes, I understand. I understand. Wow.
So downloading, go ahead.
No, that I need a lot of patience, big time.
So downloading, I know what it feels like to be patient. I know what it feels like to feel safe. It is safe to receive. I know what it feels like to feel safe being in this body, in this dimension, on this planet, having this temporary human experience. I know what it feels like to be supported by life. I am supported by life. I know what it feels like to support myself. I know what it feels like to give to myself. I know what it feels like to love myself.
That's really good. Yeah. That's because I need everything. I need everything.
I know what it feels like to feel safe being myself. I know what it feels like to be the loving operator of my mind.
Yes.
It feels good to be here. I know what it feels like to belong here. I belong here. I chose to be here. It is safe to be here. It is safe to have this temporary human experience. There's nothing wrong with me. I know what it feels like to express my feelings, emotions, and desires easily, creatively, effortlessly. It feels good to be a woman. I know what it feels like to be a woman. I know what it feels like to flow with the divine energy of life. I know what it feels like to be on this planet without feeling like the earth and its energy is too much for me. I know what it feels like to feel safe. I know what it feels like to live my life without feeling like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to witness downloading these. So just close your eyes and breathe in and out of your nose. I'm just going to witness. Do I have your permission to download all these?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I'm also downloading. I know what it feels like to remember. It is safe to remember. I know what it feels like to remember my past without fear. I know what it feels like to remember more and more as I'm ready. I know what it feels like to remember without getting attached. I know what it feels like to learn from the past. I know what it feels like to remember my past, knowing that it's not going to repeat. I am safe. It is safe to remember my past. I know what it feels like to allow the painful experiences to exist without resisting them. I know what it feels like to learn from discomfort, challenge, and pain. Is that okay?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Thank you. So I'm just balancing your brain chemicals, downloading healing for your brain. Take a nice deep breath into your heart. Nice deep breath into your heart. When you get to the top, hold, take in a little bit more, and then just release when you're ready.
Okay.
And also downloading, I know what it feels like to live my life knowing that I am good enough. I am perfect just the way I am. So no need to compare yourself. No need to feel not good enough. No need to continue the victim cycle. Knowing what it feels like to trust that everything is working out for me.
Yes, that's good.
How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Just like I have this mechanism I noticed. I don't know what it is of laughing. I don't know if it's memories, thoughts. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I go through, like, I feel like laughing. I don't know.
You feel like laughing, you mean like right now you feel like laughing, or?
I've done it before. Sometimes I'm talking to my daughter and she tells me stuff, I guess, that touched me and stuff, and I just start laughing. And it's like, I don't know if that's a mechanism or something.
Like dismissing pain and laughing instead, like laughing off a problem?
Maybe. Sometimes when I get into deep conversations with her, I'm like, why am I laughing? But she knows already, and she keeps talking, and then I start crying.
And then you go from laughing to crying. Okay.
Yeah. All the time.
Okay, I already kind of know what's going on, but let me see. So the laughing is a mechanism to not feel your feelings.
I think.
Dismissing. And then you cry because you dismiss and resist so much, and it just comes out.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think so, yeah. I just cry, like, I don't know. Yeah. But I know.
So your homework is to be gentle with yourself and drink some water. I don't know if you heard me tell Jordan earlier, no alcohol, no smoking, no stimulants for 3-4 days. Not that you do, I'm just saying this to everybody. Make sure you send me a message asking for my meditation, because you probably don't have it. I'll send it to you again.
Okay.
And I do recommend that we go deeper, because there's stuff, because I know I can help you. Like, I've never, not just saying this because I'm trying to talk myself up, but I've never had a situation where a client, even if they believe like, oh my God, I'm a lost cause, they still had improvement. There's always improvement.
Right. Okay.
And like, it doesn't take that long.
Okay.
You know?
Very good, yeah.
Okay, my dear, thank you for your vulnerability.
Thank you for everything. I really appreciate everything you did. I'm glad that we got connected. I'm just really happy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See, you're not shy. We just needed to.
No, I am extra shy. That's why I had to talk. And I wasn't like this, but
that had to do with sacral chakra, because when there's fear and there's trauma in the sacral chakra, you're afraid to be yourself and to express yourself. And when I was little, I was very shy, and then I don't know, I think I took like dance class or something, and then I had like these girls that I was friends with, and we would always like do activities. So I became more outspoken. But then when I moved to America, I didn't speak English, so then I became shy again, because I'm like, I don't know how to talk. And I was embarrassed, like if I said the wrong word. So I became like super introverted. But then it just finally got better. So, but still, there's like layers to go through. So I do suggest journaling. And, we'll figure out what we can do for you. But on my website, I have an online healing portal that has inner child healing, and it has all kinds of powerful healing sessions that you can do on your own time.
Okay.
That I really recommend, because it's going to help you so much. But yeah, so just message me, and that way we can send you the meditation and take it from there. Anyone else? Is the other person on? Thank you so much, my dear. Sending you so much love.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. The multi-passionate hustler, are you still on? If you're still on, go ahead and request after she leaves. Go ahead and exit out.
Exit out? Okay.
It should let you exit out.
Okay. Leave? Yes, leave. Let me see. Leave.
Okay, so the third person, are you still with us that wanted to go next? Go ahead and request to be in the video. I'm going to send you a request, assuming you're still on. There you are. Okay. Hello, my dear.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. How did you find me? Have you been on Instagram? Are you on my email list?
I've actually seen some of your videos passing through Instagram, but I was invited in from a friend.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. You're meant to be here. Okay. So since you're new, we're going to do what we did last time without like asking any questions, just kind of tune in. So do you give me permission to do a remote scan?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So, all right. So just take some deep breaths and just allow yourself to tune into your heart. And it does help to close your eyes so you can just detach. And I'll let you know what comes through. But just keep taking deep breaths and allow yourself to just relax. So let's see what comes through. So instantly there's some anxiousness and fear. So let me tap and see. There's a deep distrust in people. You've been betrayed. You have a hard time trusting. Does that resonate?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see. I'm hearing it's like I was guided, but I don't feel so guided. It's almost like you are seeking guidance, but you're not sure what is guidance. Like it's almost like you're doubting what can guide you and could what could be construed as guidance, as healthy guidance. And so let's see, because you feel like everything you've known has kind of changed. It's almost like everything I used to believe, is it really true? So let me see what else is coming in. Yeah, there's a disappointment in people, and it's looping to being disappointed about yourself because you're like, well, if I should have known better, I should have known better. And so it's coming back to like self blame, you know. Um, yeah, and there's a lot of like you feel hurt from the betrayals, you feel hurt, you feel disappointed, and it's hard for you to feel motivated and to do things and to have energy because you keep going into this like, I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, I feel betrayed. So it's like looping into victim mode. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so same as the previous person, like you have a lot of looping thoughts and self-judgment, overthinking, a lot of like high frequency beta brain waves, left brain, overanalyzing. Um, yeah, and I keep hearing you say like, I'm scared. I'm scared to try something new. I'm scared to make a decision. I'm scared. How long has this been going on?
With the recent,
I mean, just the general feeling that we're talking about.
off and on for a few years, but right now I would say this whole year,
Yeah.
of me realizing what it is that I have to do.
So what do you feel is keeping you from detaching from this pattern?
A child.
A child?
Mhm.
How is this child keeping you from detaching from the pattern?
Because it's a child that we share.
Okay. Is there a world where you didn't have to choose this pattern? You obviously still have the child, but you're not so reactive to whatever's happening.
I'm not sure how to answer that. You said, is it?
So I know you're new to my page and my teachings, but maybe you've heard other people talk about this. But basically, you choose how you react to things that happen to you. How you react dictates how you feel. Yes, it's normal as a human, like, hey, so and so offended me, like, oh my god, like that's not comfortable, like I don't feel good, like this is hurting me. But understanding that, I don't know if you were on earlier when I was giving advice about, like, it's not your parents' job to love you, it's not your, so you chose to have this partner, you chose to have a child. Like, oh well, what happened, I didn't really choose it, you chose it. Like, your soul was like, we're gonna have this drama, we're going to trigger each other, and it's going to be uncomfortable. So it's up to you how you respond to each trigger. So, okay, this person could be triggering you a lot, but how you respond is what's dictating how you feel. So by detaching and going, okay, this person's going to do whatever they're going to do, but I can give it neutral energy. So what I teach in my one-on-ones and my groups, give the good and the bad neutral energy. Because when you give the good, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing, oh my god, it's like telling yourself that, like, this is not normal. This is too good to be true. I'm not sure I'm worthy of this, so I'm getting overly excited over this amazing thing. And then when you really, like, react badly to something negative, that's also not good, because then you're changing your reality based on this external thing that happened, instead of just going, okay, this is how they are, I can't change them, but I can change how I react.
Okay, I've been doing actually the last couple of months. That's actually the approach I've been having. Just neutral, just kind of numb to it. That
good.
I can do about it. All I can do is.
But there's a little bit of a difference to, like, being numb to actually giving neutral energy. Because being numb is like, you're like, I'm checked out. And you know what I mean? It's like, I'm numb, I'm numbed out, I have no energy. Versus giving neutral energy is like, I know who I am. I know I can't change this person. They're on their own journey. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with the fact that they're not treating me well or they're reacting like this. Just let them do it. I have my own life to live, and I can only take care of myself. I can only control the things that I can control. I can't change other people. So all you can work on is coming into alignment with yourself. So because I'm feeling there's like a lot of resistance in your solar plexus, and they're like old resentment, old anger. And it's like, because when you say you're numb, it's because you have felt so hurt that you just shut down. So what you need to do is start processing these things by becoming more present, becoming more aware, and starting to ask, okay, what's the lesson? Why am I going through this? What is this teaching me? Is it teaching me more patience? Is it teaching me to not be so triggered? Is it teaching, what is this teaching me? And who is it mirroring? Is it mirroring a parent? Is it mirroring, some deep wound that hasn't healed? Is it triggering you to take care of yourself more and start to heal your inner child? So, because I sense it's like a karmic connection. You've had many past lives constantly triggering each other. So it's like a karmic connection. So you're not meant to be together, but you're meant to trigger each other into healing. That's what a karmic soulmate is. So let me see what comes in. Yeah, it's like my understanding of life has been skewed, I'm hearing. I feel like I can't do what I really want to do because I got this distraction. So once again, you can choose. Do you meditate? Do you take time to?
Not necessarily meditate, but I do a lot of self care, like journaling. I like to listen to music. I love to craft. My multi-passionate hustler. I'm a Jane of all trades, and I love active service. So that's one of my love languages, active service.
So what's coming in is you need to be more gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I sense like it's great that you're doing these things, but sometimes what happens is like you're trying to keep yourself busy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to help other people so I don't have to feel my emotions. Mm-hmm. So it's more like.
Became aware. I've actually just become aware that a couple of months ago, that's my defense mechanism to fill the void or not to address the problem is to overwork myself. Yeah.
That's normal. That's like most humans. It's like, let's just go to the gym. Let's just, take care of other people because then we get to stay in control and not feel safe versus letting other people help us because that doesn't feel safe because then they're in control. But really, no one's really in control. You choose. You choose. So it's all about choosing which lifeline you want to align to. Do you remember your dreams?
Some of them I do, and I can remember some of them very detailed, and some of them that I do remember, I wish I can suppress.
So you're not. You just found me today through a friend, right? So you're not like you haven't been following me or anything.
No.
Okay. So number one, make sure to follow and then send me your email so I can send you a meditation. So you can listen to this meditation and to allow yourself to relax more because everything will become easier if you just allow yourself to tap in more. So we want to shift you into more being versus doing. And the doing will come from the being. So you can send me your email. I'll send you a meditation. You can download it to your phone. And I always tell people like, don't be on the internet when you're listening to it. Like you can download it to your phone and then shut off, go into airplane mode, whatever, and listen to it. So that way you don't have distractions, you don't have all the high frequencies. And I'm hearing tapping into gratitude more. So when you're journaling, like before you go to sleep, write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. And there's some old anger, old resentment I'm picking up. Yeah, there's this program of like not letting yourself fully feel, being afraid to feel. Does that resonate? Yeah. Because it's like I don't know. It's like I don't want the pain to overwhelm me. So I want to do a download. Do you give me permission to first I want to balance your brain chemicals and then downloading I know what it feels like. And by the way, like as I'm scanning, I feel there's like resistance to like resistance in receiving because you've been used to doing. So the first thing we need to download is, would you like to know what it feels like to receive a healing without resistance, to receive help and love without feeling weak? Would you like to know what that feels like? Okay. So just close your eyes and just focus on your breath and balancing your brain chemicals, noradrenaline, serotonin hormone levels. Yeah, and I'm picking up like blockage in your throat chakra too. You're like, I've been afraid to really say what's on my mind. Like I'm holding back and I don't even know if it would help. And so yeah, definitely journaling is very helpful for that. Yeah, it's like, people blame me, I blame myself. So it's a continuous, like a self blame that's looping. And I'm just seeing several past lives where you had to always fight for things. You had to fight for things. You had to fight for food. You had to fight for survival. You just like constantly fighting. Um, so hence hustler. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming in really strongly. Like you just need to like let yourself just love yourself, surrender, and allow yourself to just let go of judgment, let go of all these like old paradigms, and stop trying to be perfect, you know? Because it's been like this friction where you're like trying, and what's going to really make the shift, which you've already been becoming aware of, is just relaxing. And whether it's 5-10 minutes in the morning, you take time for yourself, maybe set your alarm 10 minutes earlier, and then once again you set it for 10 minutes later in case you fall asleep so you don't miss whatever it is you need to go to. So allowing yourself to create the time and space to really just like, that's the biggest thing that's coming in for you, is like, I just need to chill. I need to chill. Less is more.
I've actually set that up for myself for this whole month of June. I'm not working. I'm not doing. I do have one class and for this semester, but I just transitioned from a heavy work schedule, school schedule, mom life, wife, yeah, and my business, because I before this month I was working 2 jobs, business, full-time student, full-time mom, full-time wife. Yeah.
So you just filled your schedule to keep yourself busy. So as you start to do less and like relax more, you'll start to tap into what is it that I could do more of and do less of everything else, because you need to learn how to say no. So it's funny, I like brought up your name, the IG name, but it's literally what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's how I picked it. And just for you to actually know what it means, a lot of people ask me, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And that's when you called me out, I said, okay, yeah, it's time to drop R, because it knew exactly what it was that my name meant.
Yeah, I had an Instagram live. I think it was I don't know, February or March or April. I think it was April. I don't remember, maybe February. There was a girl that came on, her Instagram was like Thrifty Rich or something. And I'm like, hold up. What's wrong with that? Like, I see where you're going with that, but it's canceling each other out. And she's like, oh my God, you're right. Because it's the idea of you have to save in order to be rich.
To be rich, yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Because then you're hoarding and you're not. How are you rich? Because then you're still acting poor. But I have money, but you're still acting poor and you're still feeling poor and you're blocking yourself from more abundance. So my whole goal is to help people, women especially, to relax into abundance and love. In fact, I haven't fully announced it on my page yet, but it's a new masterclass coming up called Money Over Men. Because what's going to happen if you already feel secure, then you're not going to be so dependent. And then when there's abundance, the same way you relax into abundance is how you relax into love. So it's not about forgetting men. It's just not being dependent on them. You still want to be treated like a queen. but you're not like, oh my God, if he's not there, I'm going to die. How many women do I know dedicate their whole life and then it doesn't work out and then they literally have nothing to do? They have to start over because they focused on the wrong thing from the beginning. And that's what they teach us. Oh, you get married and you have the perfect white picket fence. And then it's like, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but the whole point is energy. So what is money? It's energy. So why keep yourself from that energy? So understanding what can you do to have that energetic exchange? How can you contribute without burning out, without overdoing? So it's good. You're like June, it's air, Gemini. So you're like, I'm going to give myself some breathing room. So, and then a friend sent you over and you're here, and is it Jordan or?
Yes.
See, I knew it. I'm like, it was Jordan. Because you probably saw her when she was on. So understanding that you and only you can choose whichever lifeline you want to align to. But it's hard to like really implement that when you're all over the place.
Yeah.
And the 3D world is distracting you. So your job is to go in. Because 80% of the work is done internally. So I can give you so many examples, you know. It's like, okay, I don't have to know how everything's going to work out. As long as I know I'm in alignment, it's all going to work out. And not needing to know. And not needing to be triggered by this other dude that you share a child with. So let's see, what else do we need to know? Yeah, I see like several past lives, like my hands are tied. I have to do this. So many things to do. It's like you're like, literally, I see you multitasking in your past lives. And I'm seeing some lifetimes where you were a man. So there's like masculine energy that's still there, which is playing into overdoing, which is doing what? Keeping you from what?
My purpose.
Receiving.
Receiving.
So not going to get into it in terms of your current situation, but I feel like, you know what I'm going to say, but I feel like you could lean into receiving more, which comes from what? Trust. Trusting. Feeling safe to trust. Letting go of what? Control. So downloading, I know what it feels like to live my life without the need to control every single thing. Is that okay? I know what it feels like to feel safe. I know what it feels like to let go of old fear, old anger, old guilt, old resentment. I know what it feels like to just be. It is safe for me to be. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I don't have to keep myself busy just to bypass my emotions. It is safe for me to feel. Is that okay? I know what it feels like to release old guilt. It feels good to release and let go. It feels good to receive. It is safe to receive. I know what it feels like to receive a healing without resistance. I know what it feels like to be in alignment with my higher self. Do I have your permission to download these?
Yeah.
And also what's coming in is I know what it feels like to allow the small details of life to take care of themselves. Because that's a big one too. It's like you're always like, I gotta do it. And so if you just trust that everything is always taking care of itself and stay in that divine flow, then everything will take care of itself. Okay. Downloading healing for your brain and your energy centers, balancing your brain chemicals, and downloading, I know what it feels like to be the loving operator of my mind. I know what it feels like to discern between the thoughts and feelings of others and my own thoughts and feelings. It feels good to receive. It feels good to be guided. For anyone who is witnessing this, just hold space for this beautiful soul. And I may be able to do one more. So if you'd like to go next, just put a heart emoji in the comment section. And then just continue to hold space for her. What was your name, by the way?
Shanice.
Shanice. Nice to meet you. I'm Anna. If my name doesn't come up, it should come up, but maybe it doesn't. So let's see. Yeah, there's this like energy of like, I got to do it all myself. I know how to do it. I know everything. I'm going to do it all myself. I don't need help. I don't, it's like literally like that is what's coming in so strongly. And you feel like that's the way to go. And it's not. You've already burnt yourself out. You already know that. That's why you're like, I got to take all this stuff. So, but here's the thing. You could take this time and to just relax and then you're back to the same old. Or you could actually go deeper and do some healing and actually reprogram some stuff so that you don't keep looping back.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's the plan.
Yeah. So I have a powerful inner child healing that you can do online on top of several other sessions in this portal. That's like literally you just log in and do it whenever. I don't recommend doing more than one session every 3 sleep cycles. So if you feel like you need to start with something that's just like, okay, let me just do this on my own, do that. It's on my, when you go to healingmanifest.com, it's open heart healing portal. Or if you feel like you want to go deeper, I don't know if you were here when I was saying I'm not going to do one-on-one much longer. So then you can just apply for my Heal and Manifest program. And then we can see like where you're at, like if it's really something that you're ready for it to do, or if you want to just start with like a low commitment, not so like, not one-on-one, but just do this like portal on your own. So like I have some people that go, oh, I'm not really good with this. I'm not really good with meditation. I was like, well, if you keep telling yourself that story, then you're not going to be, So, so just ask yourself like, okay, what was the reason for this? Why am I on this? Why did I feel called to it? Is there a bigger purpose behind it? Maybe it's divine timing. You're taking the time to do this. It's like when I was in Spain recently and I see all these British people on holiday. They take a week, they go to the beach, they drink a lot, and then they go back to their regular lives. What's changed? Nothing. Nothing's changed. They got a tan. That's about it. And then they go back again. And it's like, okay, but what can you do in that time off that can actually have a lasting shift? Because the whole point of this is to reprogram your subconscious. So these downloads that I'm doing is like, okay, they're going into your subconscious. So it's not like, let's say an affirmation, but your subconscious doesn't really believe it. Let's talk about it until the cows come home, like which most therapists do. They just talk about it and talk about it and talk. Okay, great. How much longer do you want to talk about it? Let's find the core program that needs to be released and release it, and then boom. So, I'm telling you this because like you're totally new to this versus someone who comes on who's like, okay, they've seen my website, they've read my testimonials, they've been on whatever my page before, so they know. But even then, there's always like more to learn. It's like, oh, I didn't know that this can happen. I didn't know that if I release this past life, all of a sudden, I won't feel so triggered by my ex anymore. Like there was this ex that always used to trigger me. Now I'm just like, I could care less. I'm just like, whatever, because I did the work to detach. And you probably need an energetic divorce from him because, there's soul fragments exchanges and vows, oaths, covenants, commitments. And so once you do an energetic divorce from any soulmate, especially a karmic soulmate, that in itself frees you up so much where you're like, oh, I could care less what he says in a reply in a text or whatever. I'm just like, well, I don't care. So that's like more real. I don't care versus like I am so numbed out. I'm just like checked out. Because that's just like exhaustion. That's just like I am like my brain is full. Versus like I'm totally aware and I'm just yeah, interesting. Like you become the conscious observer. So, any questions you want to ask me?
Besides that, just trying to see far as with alignment, far as with my purpose, going into my career, like getting more invested into my career. Last year, I decided to go back to school to get my master's. Well, actually, I'm doing a double degree. I'm getting my bachelor's and master's together with plans to open it up a business with my field and my field. Just trying to see. I have all these ideas. I did start a business plan and make a business name. Yesterday, I actually did the logo for my business. So I've actually been doing a lot of groundwork since I've been off. That's my main focus right now. It's just really digging into my field. Like that is really my purpose here on earth, is to help disabled kids, kids with disabilities. I was listening to you saying as far as with how you said you have to enjoy it, and I do. It's that I definitely, I don't know how I landed into this career, but it's definitely a passion for me. I'm eager to learn. There's no limits. I've worked in different settings to see which setting I like best, and I realized pediatric is my setting of so
kids. Amazing, beautiful. And I don't know if you heard me say how it's the soul when they choose to be homeless or to be disabled. That's like that their way of clearing as much karma as possible in one life. So the fact that that's the arena that you want to focus on, it's amazing. So is there a question you're asking me regarding that?
Kind of focus, question and just
like what you should do if there's,
I guess maybe just give me more energy of focus to not just be scattered. Currently, like I know as far as with the content creating, like everyone is doing a content creating. I actually want to launch a page. That's when I changed my name to the Mostly Passionate Hustler. I was actually just going to have it all on one page because I hate jumping around. Even though I do jump around, it's like, no, I'm going to just put it all on one page. But I actually decided to just branch off and make it not be confusing for the audience. So just maybe a program for more guidance and clarity to stay focused and grounded on what's needed to bring awareness to the community about my field.
So every time I hear someone in similar situation as you, like I literally just had our first session with a new client, and the reason why she signed up for my Heal and Manifest program is because she's got all these ideas, and she when she filled out her application, she's like, I want to do this, I want to publish this book, I want to do this, I want to do this. And she's like, but I don't know which one, and I don't, which one is right, which one. So and then she signed up for this other thing that's like going to help her create a system and AI and all stuff. And I'm like, I've been there where none of that stuff felt natural. And it felt like, I don't know which one. And it felt like, just like you're describing it. And it felt like I'm swimming upstream. and I felt burned out, and I just didn't even have a desire. If somebody told me, well, you can triple your sales, whatever, I didn't even want to listen to it because my brain wasn't even ready. And why was that? Because I needed to balance and heal and come into alignment with my energy centers. Because you literally go, how can I get more energy? How can I focus my energy? By balancing your energy centers, by doing the healing, by coming into alignment. Because then you're doing everything, most of it, 80% internally, and then everything else starts coming in, and you're not going, which one do I do? You're like, that's what I do. It's not like you're not like jumping around and trying to figure it all out, because right now you're like marketing, content, this, that. Now I got all this time. Which one do I do? Where do I go? So it's much easier to figure it all out if you work on yourself first.
Okay.
Because everything comes from that. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt. Just fill out the application. It's in my link in my IG bio. It's called a coaching program, but it's way beyond. I should change that, because it sounds like, oh, it's just a coaching program. It's beyond that. It's basically reprogramming everything. So, and it's very gentle. You have like self-guided online portal that you do. I literally had a client who kept delaying. She finally did it, and she's like, oh my God. Like, I felt tingling. I feel so calm. And that, in addition to doing one-on-one to go deeper. And then basically after like a couple more people, I'm phasing out one-on-one and going into group. Group is still going to be magical, but some people just need to be like one-on-one. And then what I'm going to do, whoever works one-on-one with me, once I roll into group, I'll offer them to also pop into the groups if they want. And then I actually have a business building boot camp that I then launch and offer to people who have done. Because if you do the business building boot camp and you're still not in alignment, it's like putting the carriage in front of the horse.
Yeah.
So that's why I have, like for example, my Conscious Agent Academy, I haven't even started promoting that yet. And guess what? Some of my clients in my Heal and Manifest program a year ago, they didn't even want to hear that maybe they should be a healer. But now that they've done the work, they're like, you know what? I think I want to be a healer. I think I want to be a coach. And I'm like, oh, remember I said that a year ago? But they weren't ready to receive. So that's why I created. What?
I said, that's funny that you say that, because I get a lot of people that tell me that I have an interesting story and I need to tell my story can help others.
Exactly. So, and being able to tell your story is also what? Being able to express yourself openly, freely, and creatively, which is your sacral chakra. So once we do healing for your inner child, all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. And things are just going to flow. You know, like I'm finally getting ready to do some like comedic stuff, some fun, because stuff I talk about can be so serious. And I literally just send an email out to my list. I'm like, more fun, less drama. Like, why are we being so serious? Like, we're literally like forgetting that we have this creative child inside of us that just wants to have fun and play. And we think like we're being these like serious adults, and it's like, oh, you're an adult. Yeah, you can be an adult and still embrace your inner child. And like, I've had people like, oh yeah, I did inner child healing, blah, blah, blah. It was super, super traumatic. No one who has taken my inner child healing has ever said that. It's very gentle. It's very loving. And it's not just about healing your inner child. It's about reprogramming all the beliefs regarding how you feel about intimacy, how you feel about being a woman or a man. Like, most of my clients are women. Here and there I get men who are like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And even the men, like, you know, because it doesn't matter. Like, I have clients who in a past life were men and they're women now. Or I've had past lives where I was a queen, and then one past life I saw I was a little 5-year-old boy who was killed. And then I had another past life where I was a king. And I just told this guy I was talking to, I'm like, yeah. He's like, if you ever see that I was a woman in a past life, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm like, eternal soul. Like it is our goal to have, like, I was Indian, I was Scottish, I was, it's like we want to experience life as various races, various nationalities, various genders, whatever, because we are here to learn. So the fact that you want to work with children is absolutely amazing. But imagine the difference whether you go into it with just a hustle mindset, work, 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 versus like you come into a better alignment and everything is flowing easier. How many more people will you be able to help? And it's not going to be a struggle, and ways to get, grants to help your business go. Like there's so many things, because then you're open to receiving. So that's like, if you and I were to work together, that's what I would focus on, is to help you come into alignment so you can receive and not keep doing. I got to do content. I got to do that. Okay. Like, let's focus in on what's the most important thing to do first. So you're not all over the place. Like, you're like multi-dimensional hustler. And I'm trying to, let's focus on one dimension. We can tap into other dimensions to bring in skills that we need. But you need to just, we need to ground you. Which, are you an air sign? What's your sign? Fire? What are you?
Fire, Sagittarius.
I rest my case. Every single guy who's been reaching out to me, and my really good client who became a friend, she's a Sagittarius. And every guy, Sagittarius. I'm wearing red. I was like, I wanted to just say Sagittarius. I'm like, I'll just ease in by pretending like I'm guessing. So the fact that you're Sagittarius is like, I want to go here. I want to do this. I'm an adventure. Let me light this on fire and light this on fire. And I'm air, so I fuel the fire to burn brighter. But in a not to burn the whole town down, but like, okay, and I'm Libra, so I'm like balancing. Like this Sagittarius, he was like, I did my last one with Scorpio. And I'm like, yeah, it could be hot and steamy, but then the water also puts out fire. And he's like, yep. And I'm like, the frog that slowly boils to death. And he's like, yep, that's pretty much what happened. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I know that. Yeah. It's like, do you want to date a fire hydrant, or do you want to like what are you doing? So yeah, like, clearly you're like, you should thank Jordan profusely for like inviting you to this. I don't even do, like, I feel like now I need to say to people like, hey, send this to your friends, like invite people, like share the love, because it's like, why not? Why? Like, I always, whenever I learn something, I'm like, oh, I like tell people, how like you send funny reels to your friends, or quotes or whatever, cute cat videos, dancing, whatever. But it's important to help each other raise the consciousness. Like, I remember when I read the Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss, and I remember I like told my cousin, I'm like, oh my God, I love this book. It's so great. I like telling her about it. And she's like, oh yeah, I read it years ago. Why didn't you ever tell me about it? Like, because I'm always like, oh my God, check this out. This is so cool. Like, you will learn so much. Oh yeah, I read it a long time ago. And I'm like, thanks for telling me about it. Like, why are you hoarding this information? You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's like, I don't know, like months ago, I think I posted something on Instagram. I was like, the reason why most people, and I mentioned it earlier on this live, the reason why most of us are unhappy, or most humans, because I'm happy, but most humans are unhappy, is because they're hoarding their dreams. And why they're hoarding their dreams? Because they don't feel good enough. Because they're scared of success. How much stuff did I have to release from past lives where, oh, in a past life, I was a queen, I got betrayed. I was this, I got this, I was a healer, I was killed. I was trying to help people, I was killed. And so what did that do? That made me not want to share things because I was afraid of being in the light. I was afraid of having attention on me. I was afraid of being judged. And all that had to be released so that I could step into a much higher way of existing in this dimension, Because yes, we can tap in, because the whole goal of releasing your past lives is to release the trauma. But then guess what? Then we can bring in, like when I did my North Barrack past life release, oh my God, it was so traumatic. Like I was literally banished to a dungeon from 5 years old until 18. Like basically was going to die in the dungeon. But Source said, no, you're supposed to have a baby. You're supposed to pass on your crazy, powerful healing skills. Well, kind of hard to do when you're in a dungeon. And then lo and behold, the queen at that time needed healing, found my parents. My parents were like, she's locked up in a dungeon. Okay, go. That's where she is. Okay. She like made cakes to poison the guards to make them fall asleep so she could come and see me get the healing. And then when she healed, then she found a way to get me out. And so when I released that trauma of like, oh my God, my father's hands were cut off. Oh my God, I was banished. Oh my God, I had these powerful healing skills. And because of them, I was punished and I was going to die. But then once I released that trauma, then what did I do? I brought in those powerful healing skills. And guess what? All my healing sessions, like 10x, like much, much more powerful. So the whole point of doing past life, because it's not really the past, because time doesn't exist, it's a parallel dimension. So we want to release the negative programming that's keeping you from being fully in the present here, thriving. And then we want to bring in whatever supernatural skills you had to help you in this dimension. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the magic happens. And it's like this, it's instant. Like literally, like when I released that trauma and then I brought in, it's like, okay, are you ready to download? Because like I had such powerful skills that they put me in a dungeon by myself. All the kids were together in one dungeon. I was in a dungeon by myself. And literally it was like during the witch hunt trials. And then I find out where I live, they used to burn witches, like literally on the land that I'm on right now. Is it coincidence? No. Like the only apartment that I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. But then I started having these dreams and I was sleeping deep. Dark winter, 12 to 15 hours sleep. I didn't have to set an alarm because all my clients are 5 to 8 hours behind me. And then all this like, oh my God, I feel the heavy energy. Oh my God, people are in pain. Oh my God, I'm picking all this up. Oh my God, I can't handle it. And then I just gently eased in, kept doing the healing, the releasing, the upgrade. And then guess what happened? I kept upgrading because I had to rise above the heavy energy. And now it's like, I'm not affected by it. Even though it rained today, even though it was gloomy, it's not sunny like it was in Spain. Even though I see people stealing steaks at the grocery store down the street. I was literally at the coffee shop and two druggies like walk. It's a nice area, but there's still like people, like it's a kind of like a not up and coming because it's already like a nice area, but I don't know, it's new to me because in America you can't do this stuff. Like you literally will get arrested, but here security guards, they don't do anything. So literally people walk in, I'm sitting there talking to the coffee store manager. Two people walk in, take like 6 sandwiches and walk out. Can't do that in America.
Yeah.
But like when you see that kind of stuff, what are they doing? They're going to sell it for what? Drugs. So when you're around that, if you haven't done the work and if you're really sensitive, and what do you think I'm about to tell you? Because if you're going to start working with disabled kids and all that, you really got to raise your vibration. Because you know, you have to be ready. So instead of worrying about all this how to do the content, come work on yourself, come into alignment, so then everything just becomes easy. Because the whole point isn't to like how or what, it's just to relax into it, focus on the why. I know this is my purpose. And guess what? As you heal, as you come into more alignment, all of a sudden you're gonna go, oh my God, I didn't think of that. That would be even better.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I have 8 years already because I have my associates in the field. I'm just going further into my field to give a better understanding. And I just have so much experience that have given me so much knowledge that I feel is way better than what the books. Actually, right now I'm in my class that I'm in. I am the only one that has work experience. The other ones, they have no experience in this field. So it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, because I can give them examples of the real world working as an OT. But some of them look at it like, oh, well, she's just a know-it-all. And she's just, because the professors always ask me, hey, Shanice, can you give us an example of how this relate in today's, so
releasing judgment and releasing, like, being impervious to judgments of others and not caring what other people think, and just staying in your power, and like, whatever, people are going to make judgments, they're going to think whatever, but it's not being affected by that. And everything that you've learned and everything that you know is extremely resourceful and it's helpful. So now all you got to do is just work on your energy and work on whatever old programs need to be reprogrammed so that you can just flow into everything. Because you already have all this knowledge. Now you just need to come into a recalibration of like receiving.
And that's exactly where I'm at. I just want it to flow naturally and not try to cram or overdo it, because I feel like if I rush it, overdo it, it gets misinterpreted. Not the correct audience that it needs.
Yeah, because it's all gonna fall into place, and it's not gonna feel forced.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be natural instead of forcing it. And guess what? This is the same in relationships. It's the same in everything. Like when I finally opened myself to meeting people, this one guy, he was like, let's meet. And then I'm like, okay, well, this week or, whatever, I'm available Saturday. I'd love to chat on the phone. And his reply, completely not hearing what I said, I literally said, I'm available Saturday. And his reply is like, well, I don't want to waste time talking on the phone. I'd rather meet in person or do a video call. Because, I've spent weeks and months, and then we meet and we find out there's no vibe. And I'm like, I just said I'm available on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I didn't respond at all, because I'm like, I don't got the time or the energy to explain to this dude who's an adult who has his own business that I am not everyone he's talked to. And that if he's that detached, that after weeks of texting and whatever, he couldn't tell whether there was a vibe or not. And only when they met in person, there was no vibe. Like, if that's how detached you are, then this is totally not a vibe for me. So I didn't reply at all. In the past, I would have been like, listen, dude, like, as a healer, it's my job to rescue everybody. No. And guess what? A week later, he sends me, what a shame, you have really bad communication. And then he blocked me. Oh, because you don't want me to like respond, or you're like so much in pain that you do you see? But it's like, what did this person do? They are not open to receiving. They are trying to control. They are bringing up old stories into the present, creating a story. Oh, last time someone didn't reply to me, blah, 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 blah. I didn't need to go, hey, I already met someone interesting. I was busy. Or, you know what, your messages, like, first of all, your messages had no question. So there was no response needed. But do you see how it's like that energy, and it's probably somehow similar to how he runs his business? Because before that, he was complaining to me how a lot of his clients, they don't even enjoy massage. I'm like, what? Like, how can someone not enjoy massage? He's like, oh, they're just not ready. I'm like, so you're attracting people who don't feel safe with feeling good. I wonder why. You see? So whether it's a relationship, whether it's, you know, whatever. Because once you fully come into alignment and you work and just focus, this other thing that you brought up in the beginning isn't even gonna, you know?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so just go on my bio and it's Heal and Manifest. It's a long link, but when you click on it, it'll say apply to my Heal and Manifest program. So just apply, and that way I can see like where you're at, what we can do. And like worst case scenario, you just do the inner child healing portal, which is like literally going to help you so much. Like I had women like who used to have period pain, no longer have period pain. Just like so many different things shifted. Like, oh my God, I like don't care. I feel less attached. And someone who never used to be able to go dinner by themselves, all of a sudden like, oh, I'm cool. I can go out by myself. I don't need to depend on other people. So it's not like the same result for everybody. It's based on where you're at.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So like, what's the next layer that you need to go through? Because like you have the time, you took June or however much time you took off. So, you know, make a commitment to yourself. And that way you can just focus on one thing, which is the most important thing, your foundation. And from that, everything goes. I never thought I could work from any other country. I thought that's it. I'm stuck in California, my business, whatever. Even when I no longer had a 3D of selling houses, like 3D business, where I literally was just working on Zoom, I still wasn't like, I couldn't imagine like being able to go to another country for a few months or a few weeks here and there. Like because it's like we get so used to like I'm here, my stuff is here, my car, you know what I mean? It's like our programming.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't like, how do I go live somewhere else? Instead, I continue to focus on myself and my business and whatever. And then naturally, all of a sudden, oh, now you're going to Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're going to Spain. And now I'm like, oh, I don't have to have things perfect. I just need my Zoom, my computer, and Wi-Fi and myself. Because as long as I'm in alignment, you could put me anywhere and I'm good, you know? But before it was like, no, I have to have my perfect whatever. I have to have my perfect background. Like I didn't even put anything up on the wall. It's like, it's whatever. Taking imperfect action. So that's what we work on, and healing your sacral chakra, healing all the ways to express yourself creatively. So things just start flowing. And as we're talking, I got to tell you, your energy relaxed so much. Because in the beginning, it was like you were kind of like a knot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you saw me. I was even like holding my hands, like my arms. I had my arms crossed. Because that's how your energy was in the beginning. I was like, do I even want to like continue with this person? Like, because she's very like guarded. You felt it too, right?
Yeah. That's just a creature of nature. I am very guarded and private.
Yes, you're like, I don't know what I'm getting into. Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan, why did you send me this?
Yeah.
But you see how it's like now it's like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? And people listening are learning. They're like, oh my God, I'm not the only one going through this. Someone else is going through this. You know? So I just looked at the timer on YouTube, and I started YouTube way after I started this, which means I'm at 3 hours almost. And that's usually my max. But I'm so happy. Woo! I'm so happy you came on and our paths crossed. So just, stay in that vibration and just follow through, get your application in. Let's see where you're at. Let's see how I can help you, because otherwise you're going to go back to your 3D.
And that's not what I want, because I was starting to feel the burnout. Even though I carried it well, people would tell me, oh, you carry it well.
You were overheating. You need some air. I'm giving you air.
Yeah.
And it's a balancing error. So yeah, so it's like and it's like, and I don't work with everybody. So it's like if I'm already telling you go apply, then there's a good chance there's probably going to be an alignment. Then we'll have our interview and then we'll see what capacity, because it's not like a black and white situation. Like I have various ways, because based on like what you put in the application, then I'll see like, okay, like this is what we'll talk about in the interview. And we'll just it'll be like on Zoom, it'll be one-on-one, it won't be on Instagram. So yeah, so it's like, and it's like you're passionate about this thing, and you want to work with someone who's passionate about helping you, you know what I mean? And who's been passionate, because you're passionate, like your thing said, was it multi-passionate or multi? Because at some point I said multi-dimensional, because that's pretty much what you're doing. You're like because you're a multi-dimensional being. Like who else would want, I mean, many of us are, right? And so having that passion is important, and it's just being able to go, okay, what is my time spent better on? Because especially once you get rolling with your business, are you going to get distracted with every new idea? Because then it's like, well, why don't you just focus on, instead of being distracted? Because then in the big, even in real estate, I remember like so and so would go, oh yeah, you should meet with this bankruptcy attorney that you should meet. It's like, no, I'm focusing on short sales. Like I'm focusing on this, instead of like, oh, new shiny idea comes in, and then it's distracting you, and then guess what, you're moving sideways.
Yeah.
So I happen to have business background coming into healing, but most healers I know, they're like so clueless. They're just like, okay, I learned how to heal people, but I don't know how to run a business, So it's like, okay, what is your strength? What are you good at? How can we make more of that so that you're not overworking yourself? Because with these habits that you just described, the moment you have your business, you're gonna work yourself to death.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, wait a second, I thought this was my passion. You're picking up what I'm laying down. All right. Thank you, everyone who was here. I'm going to do a quick download for everyone before we go. Thank you so much for your trust, my dear. And I look forward to chatting with you more. So you can exit out anytime. And I'm just going to do a quick download for everyone, even though I did various downloads throughout working with people. So I'm sending you lots of love. All right, so a main download for everyone else, whoever's ready to receive, I just want you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath into your heart. And then when you get to the top, hold the breath and take in a little bit more and release. And when you're ready, take another deep breath, this time into your belly. Hold at the top, take in a little bit more and release. And if you need to take a couple more deep breaths, go ahead and do that. And when you're ready to release, to return back to your normal breathing pattern, go ahead and return to your normal breathing pattern. And so I'm just going to do a general download of unconditional love and safety, and knowing what it feels like to receive a healing without resistance, and downloading, I know what it feels like to be divinely guided. I know what it feels like to be protected. I know what safety feels like. I have the Creator's definition of safety. I have the Creator's definition of love, gratitude, compassion. I know what joy feels like. I know what it feels like to feel joy in my day-to-day life. I know what happiness feels like. I know what it feels like to transform fear into love. I know what it feels like to learn from pain. I know what it feels like to stay fully present and be grateful for everything in my life. So allow yourself to receive these downloads. And I'm just doing an overall balancing of all energy centers for everyone. And of course, I'm going to remind you once more to go to the link in my bio and download. You can request the free Healing Light meditation. It's a guided audio. It's about 45 minutes. You don't have to do the whole thing. Many people fall asleep. And so allow yourself to do something for yourself that's beyond just what you're used to doing. So changing a pattern, saying, I do have time for this. I'm making time for this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even if I do 10 minutes is better than nothing. So taking small steps and choosing love over fear always. So thank you so much. Just sending so much love and continuing the downloads in the way that you're meant to receive. So sending you so much love, and I hope to see you on my next live. And if you want to know ahead of time, sign up to my email list. Go to my website or go to the link in my bio, healandmanifest.com, or just go to the link in my Instagram bio. And I will do my best to repost this on my page so you can go back and watch the replay. Thank you once again. And it's been such a beautiful feeling. And I feel such gratitude to be able to be the conduit, because at the end of the day, I'm not doing the healing. I'm merely the conduit. I am merely helping you tap in to your higher self. So you're doing the healing, and I'm just here to guide you. Thank you once again. Sending you so much love, and sending everyone on YouTube lots of love as well. I'm going to link my website in the comments on this live video, and you'll have the replay on YouTube as well. All right. Cheers, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday wherever you are, and make sure to hydrate. And whether you're the people who got the remote viewing and the downloads or not, I do advise you to abstain from any stimulants, especially alcohol, smoking alcohol, especially, for at least 2 to 3 days after today. Sending you lots of love. Cheers. Ending YouTube as well.